Welcome, everybody. John Zager. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. Thought I'd talk for a moment a little bit about myself for some of you that have maybe just started listening to my podcasts, which are daily for the most part. They're every day. Occasionally I skip a day or two, but I've written 4 books, and those 4 books have been published. I'm currently working on my 5th book, and I'm pretty excited about that. I have worked in the field of psychology, clinical psychology, and neuroscience for the better part of 43 years. The last 10 years pretty much being focused on neuroscience. The study of our brain and the nervous system. Spending a lot of time on self-healing, meditation, reprogramming, things of that nature. Also, I've had offices around the world, had the opportunity to see people at various parts of the world, and would travel a fair amount to those locations to see different people. I assisted or helped out in the development and starting a treatment facility down in Central America. Pretty proud of that, actually. That's really, it was a cool thing to do. Had a really neat partner that was energetic and inspirational in developing that program. I was just happy to be a part of it. So more recently, I've been working, doing a fair amount, as much as I can get, I should say, in the area of, coaching people, and doing consultation for individuals as well as companies or businesses, and speaking wherever I have the opportunity to talk. I am happy to come and talk about the things that are of interest to me, and I guess the background of that is really just around how people seem to be stuck with old belief systems and living in the matrix or program, and how to get out of it. So I can look forward to speaking in that regard, and do so whenever I have the opportunity. Workshops, not as many as I would like, probably smaller, and there are the people that are doing a whole week-long workshop. I'm more interested in doing half-day or a full-day kind of workshop, and doing some research along with it. So that's a little bit about me. Obviously, there's a whole lot more, and but again, for some of you people just tuning in, maybe a little background was helpful. I'm at home today, so the coffee's fresh and hot. Yay. Want to talk about, I guess, the psychology of wealth, or attaining money, becoming wealthy. And there's, the obvious answer to that has to do with dollars and cents. And wealth, prosperity, and abundance come in all different kinds of shapes and forms, not only currency. You can have an abundance of wealth in your relationship, in your work, in your job, in your community, in your family. in the things that you do, the recreation that you do. There's abundance everywhere. There's an abundance of wealth everywhere if you want to go look for it. Prosperity comes right behind that. It's not hard to find. So I kind of want to talk about the psychology of wealth today in that regard. And we're going to talk about money and why some people are stuck and they're unable to get out of, their current situation of lack. And that's lack of all the other things I just went through, as well as lack of money. And the example I've been using, for the past, month or so, is the example of the guy living in his back of his pickup truck for the last 10 years, nearly. That's lack. And obviously has some source of income to pay for gas and you can go to the food banks and whatnot, but for the most part, there's a lack of resources there, or not enough, or an insufficient amount. And why is that? Excuse me. Why is the person that is, went down the wrong way. The person who's in real estate, been in real estate for a period of time, let's say, and not making the kinds of money he or she might want to make. After a period of time being in a certain industry, you would think that your salary would increase. And why is there still a lack or insufficient amount of money after so many years? Why is that person stuck there? And it might actually be just a meager amount of money. And you're actually wondering, why am I still doing this? This is crazy, Why do I keep doing the same thing and getting the same result? The definition of addiction, right? Okay. So, psychology of wealth. It starts with our thoughts. Heard that over and over and over again. When I go do a workshop, or when you hear anybody else do a workshop in this particular area of lack or abundance, health and ill health, one of the first questions the presenter's going to ask is, can you make yourself sick? Can you make yourself well? Well, the answer to both of those is, of course you can. Most everybody is in agreement that you can make yourself sick. Here's a sidebar. And as you get to know me, you'll understand I do a lot of sidebars. But can you decide to die? Can you, through your thoughts, decide it's time to die? And I hear half of you out there saying, yes, of course you can. And I hear the other half of you saying, I'm not sure. Well, the answer is, of course you can. Of course you can make yourself die. I know examples of people that, let's see, here's an example. Here's one example. Older guy, retired, had a good career. Kind of a hardcore kind of individual, right? But by the same token, that was the nature of his job. His personality was likable or not likable, based on the kind of work that he did. And so he distanced from people. People distanced from him. That's maybe a better way to say it. And So he was lacking, not in money, because they paid him well and his retirement was good and everything, and he got to do what he wanted to do, but he had no one. He had a boy. My understanding is, according to the story, is that, in the end, or his latter age, he went down to try to, make amends with his son or build the relationship up at the end. I'm not quite clear about that. But the son pretty much rejected him, even in the end. So I hear, right? And soon afterwards, there was nobody else left in his life, right? He really had nobody else. He had some superficial friends or people that he knew, but very few. And he died soon after, within a few months of the rejection from his son. That's a thought that it's time to die. There's a thought that goes through your head that says, this isn't working. This doesn't feel good. I don't like it. And it's just making me more emotionally and physically sick. And consciously or subconsciously, you make a decision you're going to die. You think yourself sick physically to a point that, you have a heart attack, you have a stroke, you have blah, 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 whatever, and it's untreatable because of your mental state, of your thoughts, of your belief system, and medicine is not going to work in that case, and you expire, you die. I know an old lady, same thing. She was kind of ornery, obstinate, pretty self-centered, and everybody distanced from her. She had lack. She had lack of emotional support, and actually physical support. She didn't have much money and nobody was giving her anything to get her to the doctors or whatever. There's a period of time where she was able to take that for quite a long time. What would they call that? Being ostracized. Being ostracized. And eventually, emotionally, you're hurt so bad that you produce thoughts that create disease and sickness and ill health. And you end up, not that you go to the hospital, but you're taken to the hospital. You have gotten so severely sick. And when you get there, the hospital can't help you because your emotional thoughts, your thinking, your thought process, your belief system says it's done, it's over, I'm going to die. Now, I don't know if you guys believe that, but that's fact. That's science. If you believe thoughts of that nature, no medicine out there is going to save your ass. Excuse me. You are ready and you're prepared to die. There is nothing left on this planet that you can find of value. Now, that's wrong, of course. Of course, there's stuff, even when everything's been taken away, there's always value out there. These two individuals I'm talking about, they didn't want to look for any more value because they put all their eggs in a basket. There were only certain people in their lives that could sustain their emotional health, right? Okay. So when we're talking about the psychology of wealth, we're talking about the psychology of health. And everything starts with your thoughts. Simple as it can be, you can think yourself wealthy and you can think yourself sick, to the point of even creating your own death, or even to the point of living 10 years in the back of your pickup truck. There's a second thing that happens for people that are in a position that are stuck. This podcast is going to run a little bit long. I'll try to talk a little bit faster. There's quite a bit to cover here, but it's your belief system. Again, from your mom's third trimester, through age 7, you're just in hypnosis, theta, and you're just absorbing everything that everybody's given you. Your mom, your dad, your aunts, your uncles, significant adults, significant people, maybe in school, preschool, kindergarten, whatever you're watching or viewing, wherever you go. Whatever adults are putting in front of you becomes a belief system, and you acquire a perception from that. That's fine. That's okay. And that may be not working for you today. We've talked about this before. So the stuff that you learn from these adults, or some adults, or a adult, may not be the best information you can acquire. And as you go through life, now here's the important part, we're running every day of our life 90 to 95% of the time on default. Default is our subconscious. Our belief systems that we learned when we were younger are our subconscious. The subconscious is not the kind of thing that makes decisions. It doesn't rationalize. It doesn't figure things out. It's information that was put in and taken out during your life. And it doesn't care if it's right or wrong, good or bad. So the information that goes into your subconscious, your default, your program, your matrix, is just what it is. And it doesn't mean it's going to work for you as you go through life. Person, as a result, gets stuck, right? They get stuck in lack. Lack of abundance, lack of emotional support, empowerment, inspiration, money, all that kind of stuff. Their careers go nowhere. Their relationships go nowhere. Lack is defined in a lot of different ways, as is wealth. All right? So the second thing that's not happening, first of all, our thoughts. The second thing is our belief systems. The third thing that happens, why people don't change, the psychology of wealth that we're talking about, is they're addicted to their emotions. This is really important, you guys. The body now becomes the brain. Right? Everything is going great in your life if you have body-mind coherence. Heart-mind coherence. If you can get all of your 7 energy centers working together, you have coherence. Yes? Okay. So you get, after let's just make up 25 years, you've been, I don't know, sad or depressed at times or dejected, ill-prepared, uninspired, unempowered, not very creative. You've built a system that are emotions, which are chemicals, as they talk about it, it's chemicals that cause those emotions. And you get used to waking up in the morning and feeling a certain way. Despondent. Oh boy. I talk to a lot of people, and here's one of the answers that I hear. Oh my God, it's another day. Oh, geez, I have to get up. I have to go to work. The day just doesn't look very interesting this early on. All of that stuff, has to do with being addicted to your emotions. And your body, being the mind, doesn't want you to alter from that course. So if you get inspired and decide to not be depressed, despondent, discouraged, the body's going to be saying, what are you doing? That's not what we do every day. I've been giving you these chemicals and emotions of sadness and depression and that sort of thing for 25 years. What are you wanting to do? Change it now. Change it another day, not today. So we get addicted to our emotions, and that keeps us sick, keeps us in lack, keeps us not wealthy, keeps us in ill health. So the other thing, there's a fourth one, and the fourth one is just we get too disjointed, we get too spread out, we get too excited about too many things. And we might do very well in a bunch of different areas for a very short burst, and then it all falls apart. It's called sabotage, by the way. That is the cycle of why you continually stay the way you are. So pick one thing that you're interested in doing and succeeding at. If it's real estate, then find a niche in real estate and become very good in that particular niche. Maybe it's commercial. I don't know. Maybe it's new homes. Get inspired about one thing. You're not going to be successful as a general real estate agent, broker, across the board and everything. You're not going to satisfy every single person's needs. And you're going to set yourself up to be unsuccessful in all areas. So there's a cycle that goes on. We have our thoughts and our feelings, our thoughts and our feelings. We have the thoughts that are maybe despondent. They create feelings that are more depressed, and then the feelings of being depressed cause the thoughts of being despondent, and it ends up becoming a big circle like that. So a couple things. We need to not be living out of default. Our subconscious mind, program, matrix. We need to change that, right, in order to succeed. And some of the things that you can do is you need to start picturing the future you. Maybe you're not even able to dream anymore. I don't know. That might be a possibility. I suppose if you're laying in the back of your pickup truck for 10 years, you're probably not dreaming anymore. Well, you got to start with your mind. You have to be in control of your mind. And maybe you need to start working on designing a new you. It might take you a week to come up with one element of the new you would like. It might take you a month to come up with that one element. And then you have to build on that one element. You have to see yourself doing that, being that one element of the new you. Try to feel how it feels to be that person, that new you, in that particular situation. You need to be able to feel what it would be like to be that person with that trait, with that characteristic, with that personality. And then try to live as if it's already happened. Lay there and visualize. Sit up and meditate on what it would be like if it had already happened. The new you is already there. And again, if you have the new you, if you're able to get there, and then again, I don't know how long it's going to take you, maybe a few hours, a few days, a few weeks, a few months, I'm not sure. Your subconscious doesn't know if it's happening or not then or now. It's going to respond in a manner that it's now. And that's what you're wanting to have happen. So if you can visualize the new you and that it's already happened, then you need to appreciate it, be thankful, and have gratitude. From that point, you can start teaching yourself success. People go out, listen to the internet. There's, I don't know, a dozen guys out there today that are preaching their course to success and wealth. And it sounds like, or they claim, they all have made millions of dollars. And who am I to say that they haven't? They probably have. Whether it was a fluke or not, I'm not sure. But they all have their secret formula. One of the things they're all consistent with is they go out and they have gotten mentors, people that have been successful in a particular area, and they sought those people out, and they not only got one, but they got several. And they learned from them. And they learned how to develop their future in that particular niche of success they would want to be. Their thoughts became more optimistic, more bright. And of course the bottom line is you work at it. And you always continue working at it. So those are just some brief thoughts this morning on the psychology of wealth, on the psychology of abundance, lack. I mean, it's just, talking about how we get there and how we get out of there. I'm going to try to do, not a series, but I'm going to put together some more particular points that I just went through, but in more detail on how you can do some of this stuff. One of the things I encourage, and not only because I'm in the business, I just encourage it. You need to have a coach. When I was young, I was very athletic, and I was into a lot of different sports, basketball and football, and eventually professional rodeo, and just a variety of things, and real estate. I was still am in real estate, actually, and just different things. But what I did, international trading, what I did is I went out and I got mentors in each area. I got coaches. Golf. I had a coach for 15 years that got me to play better and better golf. Simple thing, but it works in life as well. You guys need to not diss people like myself that do coaching and consultation. If you have a business and it's not successful, or it's dragging, or it's lagging, or it's having some problems, contact someone in psychology, neuroscience that does consultation. It all relates to success and wealth and abundance. There's a common denominator. Maybe that's what I'll talk about next, is the common denominator. So if you have a business, a big business, little business, I don't know, thinking about starting a business, doesn't matter. Contact people like me. You can get a hold of me at johnzegar.com. That's my website. JOHNZEGAR.com. And I believe there's leave a message, or your name and phone number, or whatever that happens to be. If you would like to contact me, just please go ahead and do so. You can also get a hold of me on just email, which is jzager@gmail.com. jzager@gmail.com. I'm happy to help you out however I can. I do a fair amount of work around meditation. It's a huge medical and emotional tool that works. So whether you're a small business, a company, a corporation, an individual looking for coaching or consultation, contact me or contact anybody like me that does the same stuff. Look up the credentials. Find out about people. Ask questions. Do research. Listen to podcasts. Listen to YouTube videos. Read blogs. My blog, jzager.blogspot.com. Go read my blogs from every day. Get to know who I am if you don't know, and decide, is this a person I could work with? I'm happy to do it, you guys. So, at any rate, what is it? Sunday, yeah? Cloudy here in eastern Colorado. Looks like we're going to get a little rain. Hopefully. It's been so hot. And God bless everybody. Look forward to talking to you all again. Take care of one another, and see you again real soon. See you. Bye.